So today is Thursday, March 19th, and Vietnam just closed all its borders. So I wanted to come on here and kind of give you a overview and kind of tell you what's going on in Vietnam with us. If you don't know, I'm currently living in Da Nang, Vietnam, and I've been here for a year now. I did travel back home for the holidays, and then I came back here in January. And during this outbreak of COVID-19, Vietnam has been pretty safe. They took actions pretty early, and whatever information they had about people coming from countries that were infected, they had everyone put in quarantine, and the government really took care of people in that sense. I would say, as far as health-wise, a lot of people in Vietnam are taking this really seriously. So people are wearing masks and they're using hand sanitizers, washing their hands. I can tell a really funny story. I went to the grocery store the other day, and I was wearing my mask and everything, and I had a Grab, which is the Uber in Vietnam. I had the Grab come to pick me up, and he put my groceries in the trunk, but he locked the door because he didn't want me to get in until I put hand sanitizer from his car, and then came around, made sure I used his hand sanitizer to open the door and get into his car. So people have been very careful here. So for us, me and my husband, we had plans to travel in the end of March because we have our visas that we have to renew every year. We had initially planned to go to Singapore, but we can't fly anymore, which I understand, but we were trying to go through Laos and just get a visa stamp. So the visa run is when you go to a country or you just go to the border and they just stamp your visa for you just coming in and out. So that was the plan, but that's no longer possible. What we're trying to figure out is how we're going to get a stamp on our visa. If I can explain it to you more, is we have a visa from last year. We came here in Vietnam on March 26, 2019, and it was a one-year visa. So it expires this March on the 26th of March 2020. Now we have a new visa that I obtained before coming to Vietnam, and that visa is valid from March 1st on entry to Vietnam until March 1st, 2021. So we have to get a stamp. We have to exit the country with our old visa and come back into the country with the new visa. But that's not possible, obviously. So we're going to try to go to an immigration office right now and see if they can help us, see if there's any way for us to get that stamp. I did hear that you can get an extension. However, somebody told me the extension was $140. Mind you, a visa alone, the one-year visa is already $200. So it would be really hard to get 1 month visa for just $140. I just want to know, at the end of the day, whatever it is, we have to do it. So yeah, let's go and see what it's like and see if we can get that resolved. Okay, so on a nice little update, we just came back from speaking to the lady for the visas, Lynn visa, which she's been very helpful. So we just are going to do a 3-month visa extension because there's nothing else that we can do. I'm excited about it because at least like something, yeah, something is getting done. And then aren't you feeling grateful right now? We were just saying yeah, grateful. Like the only problem that I have is a problem money can solve.
Because we were gonna do a visa run to Laos, and she just looked at it and she said, oh man, I'm so happy I just saw that right now, because if we had gone to Laos right now, you would have been stuck at the border, because the visa we have, which we got directly from the Vietnamese
embassy in the U.S. Yeah.
She said it's not valid at the border. So if we had gone to Laos with her in that bus after a 6-hour drive, we would have been stuck in Laos.
Yeah. So imagine, because like those are like buses that you take here and it just takes you to the border, but our visa is you can only fly to another place with it. You can't go through like just regular borders, which is interesting.
If they did not close the borders because of this virus, we would have ended up probably doing a visa run and being stuck
in Laos for 2 weeks.
We would have probably just had to book a flight then.
But The
then we don't
borders
have
were
a-
closed. There was no way for us to, like, even if you booked a flight, how would you get there? The airport was closed.
No.
The airport is closed now. Yeah.
Now it is. Back
We
then
would've
it wouldn't have been.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would. Oh no.
Yeah, we would have been stuck. Yeah, we would have been stuck because there's nothing. You know what? Grateful. Just be grateful
Yeah.
that sometimes unfortunate things happen and then it works in your favor, because my gosh, we would have been stuck in another country and there's nothing you can do. We probably would have been quarantined for 2 weeks and then would have been quarantined if we came back to Vietnam again. So
Well, anybody who's coming here, you're gonna get quarantined for
Quarantine.
14 days, no matter what.
Yeah.
That was released yesterday.
yeah.
Every
Things-
day is something different. We're supposed to go to Singapore. Singapore, as of today, no, tomorrow, they're gonna start quarantining everybody for 14 days.
Yeah, but there's no flights coming out of Vietnam anyway. Like,
Huh?
I don't know.
No. There are flights. It's
Well,
just
our
that
flights
everybody's
is
gonna
not
get
quarantine.
quarantined. They're not
So-
taking any chances now.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you have plans, make it for at least 2 weeks after you land here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, hey, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. One of her favorite quotes.
Yeah, by Steve Jobs. I love that
Yeah.
quote. Yeah, it's true. So feeling very grateful in a way because things are getting solved. Like, you just have to realize, like, just take action towards what you can control, and then that's it. Like, there's nothing else we can do. I'm happy that I'm here. Like, I'm kind of stuck in the country, but I'm able to do whatever I want to do. Like, I can actually go
Yeah.
out.
We're
you
not
know?
stuck. We wanted to be here, and if we were
No, but
gonna
what
be
I
stuck
mean, like-
somewhere, this would have been the place. So we have
Yeah.
it good, and we have a problem money can solve.
Yeah, that's one thing
So
we keep
this is-
reminding ourselves. Like, if you have a problem that money can solve, you are okay. Because some people have the virus right now. Some people are stuck in their quarantine. So
Some people are stuck in China. We know.
Yeah.
I know someone who.
yeah, I know somebody who's stuck in China and he can't even go to the grocery store without his passport. So, you know, like, that's, you know, just what you can control right now. Like, I'm happy I'm here with you. Okay,
Hey, Doug.
I'm here with you.
Yeah.
We're healthy.
With
You
a
know?
beautiful sunset behind us.
In Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you learn a lesson, is just be grateful for what you have and what you can control right now. So yeah.
All right.
Hey guys, so I'm back home now and we just came back from meeting with the visa lady, as you guys saw. So now we just are going to wait for 2 weeks. She will let us know in 2 weeks if that 3-month visa is accepted. We basically send her our passport and our old visa. They have to ship it to Hanoi, and if that is approved for the 3-month, then we will get our 3-month visa. If not, we will get a 1-month visa, and they will refund us the difference. So fingers crossed that that works out. But anyway, I'm very happy that, you know, something's getting done and it's not just staying stagnant. But on a side note, you guys, if you don't have an emergency account, I would recommend you start one as soon as possible. Make sure you divide your money in different accounts so that if something like this happens, like an outbreak like COVID-19 or any type of situation happens, you have money that's saved up for emergencies. So something that Ralph and I did before we started traveling is we kind of had anywhere between 3 to 6 months of income, our current living expenses, necessities, saved up in an account. So this is like a savings account that you would have, and if anything happens, just like what's going on right now with the coronavirus, if you have that 3 to 6 month like kind of cushion to kind of give you that security just in case something were to happen. Let's say even if you do have a job but you're not working as many hours as you used to, or you know, there's situations where you need to buy some produce or things that you need to buy in advance, it gives you that emergency support. So for us, that's going to be very helpful right now because we have to pay for this visa. I actually got this information from T. Harv Eker, and he talked about the money management system that are jars to separate your income into different brackets. So when you get paid, one thing that I do personally, as I teach English online, I'm responsible for my own taxes. So I always separate a certain amount, a certain percentage of my income for taxes. Once I'm done doing that, I take about 50% of my income and I use it as my necessities bucket. So what that means is for my necessities, rent, electricity, you know, phone bill, everything that food, everything that's, you know, a necessity falls into that. So 50% of my income goes through that. Everything else I divide it into different brackets. So I have a 10% that I put into an emergency account, which is what I'm talking about here. So you have 50%, that you have another 10% that goes to your emergency every month. You have I also do another 10% for, which is long-term savings for spending, which is what he calls it, but I call it my financial freedom. So for me, what I do with that, I use that as like payment. So if you have to pay credit cards, if you have to pay student loans, if you have to pay anything, or if you want to save up for investment, this is kind of like your investment bracket. The next bracket that he has, it's called play, and for us we call it a fun account. The next one is called an educational account. So you can use that, for example, if you wanted to take a course to learn how to do something, you might want to save up some money. You save that money into your education account, and then you will use that money to purchase the course or to learn that new skill that you're trying to do. The fifth bracket is financial freedom, and the sixth bracket is your give account. I don't use them specifically as he does, which you shouldn't either. You can just use it as an example and then modify it to your life. But I think one of the most important parts of what I'm talking about today is basically to have an emergency account, because in a situation like this right now, it just shows you how important it is to have extra cash where you can just go to that account and just take that and then use it in a case of emergency. All right, I know this video has kind of been a little bit out of nowhere, but I wanted to kind of share with you what's been going on this week for me in Vietnam, because things are changing every single day with the visas. So let me know if you want to see more videos like this, if you have any questions about what it's like living in Vietnam, Da Nang specifically during this outbreak, during the coronavirus. Let me know in the comments below, and if you have any suggestions for more videos, make sure you leave a comment as well. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye and stay safe.